5 common mistakes to avoid in tomorrow's AQA English Language Paper 2 exam. First off is Paper 2 Question 1, where you have to read 8 statements and pick out 4 which are true. The exam report last year gave a useful tip, and this is a paraphrase. The statements are presented in the same chronological order as the text, making it straightforward to read back through the lines in question and check that the right responses have been selected. Paper 2 Question 2 is a summary question worth 8 marks, and the key point here is you must infer, not just paraphrase. If we use the key paper from my videos, we looked at this sample paragraph. Hale describes the call centre as having a mixture of full-time, part-time or flexi-time staff, implying that the job in the call centre caters for a variety of different needs and lifestyles, which the bosses are willing to accommodate, but Neil Chu says that we work, endlessly, ceaselessly work, from Monday morning till Saturday night, which implies that the role is inflexible, making it difficult for the staff to find any sort of work-life balance. Now, the bits in red are inferences. They're not stated in the text, but something the student has worked out for themselves. So the key to this question is to follow the plan I explained in my videos. Step 1. Find a point of difference, but remember this question could be asking you to summarize differences, similarities, or details about a topic, so I'm just talking about differences here as an example. So step 1, find a point of difference. Step 2, back up with quotations. And step 3, given that this is the difference, what does this lead me to realize about what I've been asked to focus on? Paper 2 Question 3 is the language analysis question. The main mistake to avoid is jumping on language features where you just can't analyze the effect. Sometimes we spot something, for example, a simile. They can be easy to spot because they're evident through the use of like or as, but just because you spot something doesn't mean it's the best thing to write about. You need to ask yourself, can I analyze the effect the writer's language choices have, or explain a reason behind the writer's choices? And there may well be language examples where you can't do that. So in that case, you'd be much better off looking for a different piece of evidence to analyze, because this question is all about effect. Paper 2 Question 4 is a 16-mark question looking at writers' viewpoints and perspectives. One simple mistake to avoid: this question is explicitly about the ideas and attitudes of the writers. You need to be very careful to make sure you're analysing the ideas and attitudes of the writers and not just those of other people presented in the text. For example, in Source B, our writer is Andrew Hale, so you're looking at Hale's thoughts and feelings about his experiences at work. Now, there are other people in the text, such as Ryan the boss, but you're not writing about Ryan's experience because Ryan isn't the writer. This question is always about the writer's viewpoints and perspectives, so make sure you're focused on the writer. Question 5 is the writing question in Paper 2, and one past exam report pointed out how the best responses took one viewpoint and stuck with it through to the end. You need to know that the main thing the examiner is looking at first and foremost is how clear is your line of argument. You should not argue both sides, agreeing here then disagreeing there. If you do that, your answer will be confusing, and you want to present a clear argument. And let's pin this down in the mark scheme for a second. If an argument keeps shifting from one side to another, then it's probably going to be placed within level 2, that's half marks at best, described in the mark scheme as some successful communication. So if you found this video useful, you should love my new updated video series on this paper, so check it out if you haven't done so already.